Members of SJP continued their campaign for BDS by using both grassroots organizing and by embedding themselves in the school bureaucracy. SJP made strategic use of elected student positions on the Hampshire Board of Trustees and its subcommittees. The conversation after a while of all the educational stuff turned to having an institutional statement, and what kind of a statement can we get Hampshire as an institution to make?
We had an institutional statement which was kind of a core aspect of divestment in general. This institutional statement, which was kind of a draft of what we would like the administration to say if we were to divest.
And so there was a lot of conversation about, should we call for that as the Palestinians called for it, or should we alter it? Divestment from the Israeli occupation, meaning like specific companies that are that make military equipment to facilitate the occupation.
We took the call and modified it for the sort of circumstances of Hampshire. And we wrote an additional passage on the responsibility of Americans in this struggle and this occupation, the responsibility of students.
Because of the nature of Hampshire and it being a tiny school with like 1,400 students or something, we felt like it could work to really go and individually talk to every person on this campus. So the people who were dedicated to SJP, which was maybe like, 20 core people, just decided to have like a constant presence in Saga, the dining hall, just like walking around the dorms and stuff to talk to people about our idea for an institutional statement and get people to sign on to it.
That took roughly a year, after which we entered sort of several stages of negotiation with the Board of Trustees, in which we presented a case for it. And they said, look, Hampshire has a history of being socially responsible. The companies we have located in Hampshire's investment portfolios were precisely in violation of all what we just said, those policies of responsible investment.
The trustees, sitting on the trustees was a very interesting experience. How they dealt with the issue of Palestine or SJP was just, it felt mostly as like, oh, okay, the students are bringing something to us. We're dealing with this again. This thing happens every spring, there's a student issue. You could feel that they thought they were never really going to have to deal with it.
The decision to divest from the State Street Mutual Fund, the one asset that SJP identified as complicit in the occupation, had been formed in a subcommittee of the Board of Trustees, with the help of student representatives who are also SJP members. At the board's first meeting of 2009, the recommendation to divest was ratified, though no accompanying statement on Palestine was released by the school. The school instead cites a general policy on socially responsible investing as the rationale for selling shares in that fund. Jay and Brian were very, very excited and text messaged me and basically said they had great news and then told us that this had been accepted. And we were ecstatic because we had worked so hard for this. But we didn't understand exactly what it meant.
Once it became clear that the Board of Trustees were not going to make a statement alongside us, I personally approached Ralph Hexter and said, listen, like, we're gonna announce this. We can announce this together in some way that makes sense for both of us, or it can just be us. But like, we're gonna have to go out with this. And he didn't seem interested, or he said he wasn't interested.
So, I think that's where the backlash from the administration came in the first place, because I think they somehow perceived that this event would go quietly, they just divest, and it would be maybe not, people would know exactly the reasons why. I don't know why they thought that, because we were a pretty loud group on campus.
Free, free Palestine! 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 Free, free Palestine!
As students of any of the 5 colleges, we know our colleges or universities are invested, and we must demand action now. It is possible and absolutely necessary that we call for accountability on the parts of our institutions for the oppression that they perpetuate.
Thanks everybody for coming, and thanks for everybody from all the communities who helped organize this, and let's stay and let's talk and let's figure out where to go from here and how to keep this going.
we did decide at a certain point that, we can't rely on the administration. Like the administration, if we get caught up in their concerns, this won't go anywhere. What we need to do is we need to claim victory and be proud of what we've done and run with it, basically.
And we literally just took a week. And I mean, I'm telling you, every single night and during the days for hours at a time. Just making it happen. Really, like I said, deciding what are we going to do with this, how are we going to present it, getting together thousands of journalist information, writing press releases, preparing to both hit it up into the larger world but also on campus. And so, I mean, that took like an incredible amount of work.
A dispute has emerged between officials at Hampshire College and student organizers over the school's recent decision to divest from a mutual fund run by State Street Global Advisors. Activists with the group Students for Justice in Palestine said the move came after it had pressured Hampshire's Board of Trustees to divest from 6 companies that provide the Israeli military with equipment and services in the occupied West Bank and Gaza. Hampshire College officials admit they reviewed the State Street Fund after receiving a petition from the group, but the school said the divestment decision, quote, did not pertain to a political movement or single out businesses active in a specific region or country.